Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Companies like Instagram are often designing technology to maximize the collection of our data and subsequently sell visibility into its users' private lives and interests. That's why when a company called Signal bought advertisements designed to show us the information it collects and sells about us, those ads were banned by Instagram's parent company. It's the black box of highly secretive algorithmic systems that companies like Instagram deploy that operate largely undetected by the user and which allow them to continue to operate free of meaningful scrutiny. This is not an open source system. Sunlight disinfects, and Congress must not scroll past this critical moment without properly addressing the harms young people are encountering on these platforms. Mr. Mosseri, thank you for being here. In your testimony, you stated that Instagram has limited advertisers' options for serving ads to people under 18 to age, gender, and location. But your testimony neglects to mention that any similar prohibition on Instagram's own machine learning ad delivery system. Does Instagram's machine learning ad delivery system target ads to children using factors other than age, gender, and location?
Senator, I appreciate the question. There's one ads delivery system both for Instagram and for Facebook. We only allow advertisers to target those under 18 based on age, gender, and location. And overall, the system also uses activity that teens use within the app to make sure that ads are relevant to teens.
Okay, so you don't limit yourselves. You hold yourselves to a lower standard than your advertisers?
Senator, we do limit ourselves in that we don't use any off-platform data, but we do also use activity in the apps to make sure that ads are relevant. For instance, if I'm not interested in a specific band because it's in another part of the country or because I don't like that type of music, it doesn't make sense for me to see that type of ad.
So, Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record a report from Fairplay that shows Meta is still using an AI delivery system to target ads at children.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Your head of safety and well-being, Vaishnavi J., recently stated that any one piece of content is unlikely to make you feel good or bad or negative about yourself. It's really when you're viewing, say, 20 minutes of that content or multiple pieces of that content in rapid succession that may have a negative impact on how you feel. So to me, her statement says that your company knows that time spent on the platform increases the likelihood of real-world negative impacts. So how do you square a business model that prioritizes user time and engagement with knowing there's a direct correlation between time and harm?
Senator, respectfully, using our platform more will increase any effect, whether it's positive or negative. We try and connect people with their friends. We try to help them explore their interests. We even try to help them start new businesses. But if people don't feel good about the time that they spend on our platform, that's something I personally take seriously, and why we built things like daily limits and why we're currently working on parental controls that are focused on time.
Does Instagram make money from ads that are seen when placed next to highly viewed and viral but also harmful content that violates the rules of your platform?
Senator, we don't allow content that violates our rules on the platform. We release publicly how effective we are at removing that content, and we receive revenue based on ads shown.
Okay, so is the money returned to the advertisers then?
Senator, not that I know of, no.
Is it your position that Instagram will always comply with the laws of the country in which it operates?
Senator, we're going to do our best to always comply with the law.
Okay. Will you commit to releasing those guidelines to members of this committee?
Senator, apologies, which guidelines?
It would be guidelines related to how you comply. So let me give you an example. If an authoritarian regime submitted a lawful request for your platform to censor political dissidents, would you comply? And if not, what are your guidelines on something like that? Let me give you some real-world examples. If a government, let's say Uganda, criminalizes homosexuality, and if the government submitted a lawful request for a data on users that are members of the LGBT community, would Instagram comply?
Senator, we try and use our best judgment in order to keep people safe. I also believe that transparency on this specific issue is incredibly important. I will double check and get back to your office, but I believe we also are public about incoming requests we get at a high level.
So one of the reasons that I'm concerned about the fact that this is sort of secretive data collection based on a non-open source algorithm is because it gives you that veil of secrecy. People don't know what information is being collected about them. Yet, if a hostile government is able to identify people like women who are learning against the law, being educated against the law, or someone who's homosexual, where in a government where homosexuality is punishable by death, and there are governments that do this. If you turn over that data and it's collected by artificial intelligence, that artificial intelligence is not going to discern that they're putting a human being in danger. The platform, artificial intelligence, when not guided and not open sourced, can be a real problem. Mr. Chairman, thank you. I yield back.
Thanks, Senator.